Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Now I've been posting things in a while, so I'm going to be doing a review on the show and on the season I just got through watching. So, I'm going to do a review on season 1 of Pose. So, for those of y'all that are not familiar with Pose, it's a show by Ryan Murphy, the guy that created Glee and created American Horror Story. And it's set in the 1980s, and it's basically about these transgender women, and it's, well, so I'm gonna straight up going back. So start this video off basically by saying I used to really not be fond of transgender people. Like, I used to be like, what the fuck? Like, you know, that person's a drag queen. Like, I don't see that shit. I used to sound like an ignorant asshole. So, anyway, so the show changed my point of view about that show. Hold on. So, anyway, as I was saying, so, the show's basically like, so, it starts out with, so it's about transgender people, and it's interesting because, like, you know, how, you know, how all the characters are connected. Like, for example, there's this girl, Angel. And Angel's transgender, and she's a prostitute. And so basically, one of the storylines I thought was very interesting was she gets with this married man that he has a wife and kids, and they have an affair, and Evan Peters plays the husband that's having an affair with Angel. And I thought it was an interesting storyline. And then, you know, I thought it was interesting the fact that that they talked about AIDS, you know, all that shit, because back in the 80s, you know, AIDS, you know, came out, and HIV, all that shit came out, and they talked about on the show AIDS and HIV, and there was an episode I watched, Mother's Day. And one of the, so Pose is basically, well, so this woman, I forgot what her fucking name was, but she ends up becoming a mother and, you know, having her own house, and with, you know, all these kids that she lets live with her, and she used to be in another house with another lady, Eva something. You see, I forgot what her fucking name was. Anyway, so, the lady's name is Blanca. And so, Blanca, you know, finds out that, you know, well, I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm going to give you a little bit of spoiler. This is a little spoiler. So, Blanca finds out that, you know, she gets a call from a friend letting her know that, you know, her mom, you know, died. And she doesn't want to go to the funeral, and she's iffy about it. And she goes, and her friends go with her, and her family, people she lives with, goes with her. And that, I got emotional watching when she goes to the church, because it's like, my dad passed away, I didn't go to his funeral because I was invited. I was angry, and so I got emotional watching that scene, and then I was thinking, fuck, I should still fucking have gone, because, you know, it was my dad. And I should have been like, you know, not giving a fuck about my siblings and all that fucking drama with the family. And, anyway, you know, the Blanca situation with her mom made me cry, because, you know, her mom passed away, and, like, you know, I said, you know, even though it was 2 years ago since my dad passed away, you know, it still, you know, hurts at times. And, then there was a situation, so Blanca, you know, has her so straight up, let me fucking rewind. So, the show, you know, these gays and transgender people, they have this like house, they have this like club where, you know, all these other houses are like, you know, competing against each other and getting trophies and shit. I didn't even know about that shit. I was like, what the fuck? And it blew my mind that, you know, they were having that stuff go on because, you know, back in the 80s, you know, being gay wasn't, you know, accepted like it is today. So I kind of got, you know, why, you know, they all hung out with each other at that place because, you know, they didn't have a home. Anyway, what the fuck was I saying? So there was a guy named Poppy. And Poppy, okay, so he's living with Blanca and all the other, you know, kids. And, you know, Poppy got in a little situation. And I felt bad for Poppy. And I'll say, you know, watching the first season, I seen half of it when it was on TV, and I binged the rest of it today because it comes back on. Let me look at my calendar. Oh, it comes back on Wednesday. And I'm excited. And this new season is in the 90s, basically. It's like 5 years later. And I'm looking forward to watching it. But like I said, you know, it changed the way you know, my views on transgender people. I used to, you know, I used to be an ignorant jackass, but what I also liked about it was that the show set in the 80s, and some of the music is good on the show. And, yeah, and, you know, I loved all the shady, you know, all the shady comments that, you know, the Cranes would make towards each other, which made me crack up. And, yeah. Anyway, guys, this review is all over the fucking place, but I give Pose Season 1 a 10. No complaints. If you haven't fucking checked it out, what the fuck? It's on Netflix. Like, binge it. Like, there's like 8 episodes, and which is so fucking small. And I hope Season 2 it's like 12 episodes, not fucking 8. I mean, I'm just glad it's 8 because I was able to binge the other half that I hadn't seen. Anyway, yeah, that's my review on Pose, and I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything else. Oh, and you know what I thought was interesting was there was, you know, well, like I said earlier, Evan Peters was in it, but the girl plays his wife. She's from American Horror Story. I don't know her fucking name, but I'm like, oh my god, that's so-and-so from American Horror Story. And, oh yeah, and then I thought it was crazy was the guy from Dawson's Creek. God, that played. Dawson was on it. I forgot his fucking name. I mean, I'm that person that, you know, if I don't follow a celebrity on everything, know their fucking name, I'm like, you know, there's certain celebrities I don't give a fuck about, you know, like that. And this dude ain't one of them. And, you know, I'm trying to think of anything else I forgot. You know, I honestly, I liked all the characters, but the other mother, her fucking name, jeez. Okay, so let me show you. Rewind. So at the beginning, the first episode, you were introduced to this mother, Evangelista. I think her name was Evangelista. And so, you know, she's a bitch. And so Blanca's living with her, and Blanca decides that she wants to, you know, start her own house, be her mother. And Evangelista was a bitch. There were times when I didn't like her because she was a bitch. But towards the end of the season, you end up feeling bad for her. I felt bad for her at times. Because it's like, you know, you got to see why she was such a bitch, because, you know, she didn't want to trust people, blah, blah, blah. And then, God, there was this gay guy. He got kicked out of his house because he was gay. And Blanca finds him on the street and, you know, offers for him to, you know, move in and, you know, live in her house and she'll be his mother. And one thing I thought was interesting about the show was the fact that, you know, Blanca, you know, is starting her own family with these kids that, you know, they don't have any family, they don't have anybody to turn to. And it's like, it just basically reminds me, like I say all the time, is that, sometimes your family is not people you relate to. It's people you're friends with and close with. And, yeah. Basically, that's the review. Um, but, oh yeah. And my expectations for season 2. Oh, final thought. So, I was proud of, how the season ended, because that relationship with Angel and the Married Man, I was like, oh hell. But I'm not going to spoil anything, but I was really happy with the decision Angel made about it. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. Anyway, that's all. Peace.